Along the line of numeric operations, Java also comes equipped with many mathematical functions. These functions are all of java.lang.math package. And since java.lang is already a part of your native Java, you do not need to import this particular library to make use of these various operations involving taking the absolute value of a number, taking a square root of a number, taking the exponential power of a number, finding out the max of two values, minimum of the two values, rounding off of your floating value to your nearest integer, so on and so forth. Just to illustrate, let's look at some of the examples of these math functions. Let's use this exponential operation to illustrate. You can type in math, capital M. The reason why you have this is because math itself is a static object. As such, you can invoke its method by using a dot operator. We'll talk more about this later. So to calculate 2 raising to the power of 3, in some languages, you can simply write 2 hat 3, but in Java, you gotta use this math function with 2 arguments. The very first argument is your base, and the second argument will be your power. You don't have to memorize this. This is all part of your Java API. I'll show you where to find them. This effectively gives you 8. And notice that the return type of your math.pow function is a float or double. This is not an integer. Therefore, when you run it, you get 8.0 instead of 8. Same thing with 4 raised to the power of 1 half. This gives you 2.0 instead of 2. Same thing with 2.5 raising to the power of 2. This gives you 6.25. You get the idea. You can also have a negative power. Let's run this in an online IDE next. This is a simple Hello World program. Let's repurpose this to illustrate our exponential operations. Like I said, because the math library is already part of Java.lang, you don't have to import this. You can simply just type in math.power. And let's use the example of 2 raising to the power of 3, and let's run it. As expected, you're getting an 8.0, which is a double value as a return type. Let's do another one to illustrate. Let's use absolute value. Taking the absolute value of, let's say, negative 1,000. Let's run it. And you get 1,000. So this is how you make use of mathematical functions in Java. Since we're on the subject, let's take a look at the Java API for this class math. This is the Java API for the math library. This is Java SE 8 or standard edition version 8. There's more recent versions, but these APIs are all pretty much the same. Let's take a look at the power method. As you can see, this method is a static function that returns a double. So if you click into it, you can see the actual API that talks about this. When in doubt, you can always refer to Java API. You can go to any Java version online to look for the specific. You will also see the parameters you need. The very first one being the base, the second one being the exponent or the power that returns this value, which is in double right here. This completes our discussions on the math libraries in Java.